Hey guys, how you doing? This is Dan the Man with the Master Plan, and I got a special guest, my friend Chef BeLive. He's going to show you guys some really good grub and raw foods so I can take a break tonight and chill out and relax. We're going to give you some really super good, cool recipes. And I love Chef BeLive. I love Brian. He's a phenomenal human being. I love worshiping with them at church on Sunday, and I love his recipes. So I hope that you enjoy the recipes the way I do. Chef BeLive, come on over here. Word. Thanks, man. Okay, we can't take up too much time, so please go ahead, man. Do your thing.
How you doing out there? I'm here to share some gourmet raw foods with you, and what I'm going to make for you is an exotic pleasure wrap. And I have many different exotic pleasure wraps. I'm going to create it right now for you, just straight right from God and right to you. So the base that I'm going to do, it's going to be a truly raw cashew. I don't know if you know about the truly raw cashews. I'm sure you do. I'm sure Dan's told you, but most cashews aren't truly raw. So you got to check into it to make sure that they actually are truly raw. I'm going to use about a cup's worth of truly raw cashews. And I'm going to use a food processor here to do this recipe. And we're going to make a pâté for the base. I'm going to use about half a cup of sunflower seeds. Of course, the sunflower seeds and the cashews are both soaked to get rid of the enzyme inhibitor, because the enzyme inhibitor is toxic. So you want to always make sure you soak your nuts and seeds. I'm also going to put about a quarter of hemp seed or hemp nut. And I also soak, not many people do this, but I also soak my hemp nut. It really actually makes them, it gets rid of the bitter taste, and it makes them a lot more digestible. And I don't know if you know about hemp, but hemp's very high in protein and omegas and all kinds of good stuff. You can Google and check out more on. We're on a time constraint here, so I'm gonna add some strawberries, and there's about a quarter cup of strawberries here. I'm gonna get with the base. I'm gonna have the ingredients that are in the base. I'm gonna actually have them in the base and in the wrap, so that the flavors really combine and just really go off in your mouth. It's really good, a good thing to know, a good trick that I learned a while back. So I'm gonna put 2 dried habaneros. The habaneros are pretty hot, so just be really careful with using you might not want to use it if you can't do too spicy. I love spicy. I think Dan's also a spicy person from what I've learned. One thing I love about strawberries and most vegetables and fruits are that a lot of people forget about these little leafy greens. I love them. So I'm going to put a couple more strawberries. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and chop up some strawberries for the wrap. And I'm going to leave the greens in it. Because believe me, you won't be able to tell. And they're good for you. My son and I, we were wondering like one day, this was like 12 years ago when I first got into raw, we're like, how do we know? Maybe the greens of a strawberry is like cure cancer or something. We don't they're definitely not bad for us. They're greens. They're definitely edible. So I just add them to when I'm making cuisine. Now that is if it's something that I'm going to use, it's not going to be, as far as the presentation goes, you're not going to see it. So this is going to go into the wrap, which is going to be covered by the nori. I'm going to use the nori, which you can actually use nori, or you can use cabbage, or kale, lettuce leaf. There's many different options you can use as a wrap, but we're going to use nori today. I'm going to put a little bit of mint. I don't know, it's probably about 1/8 of a cup of mint into the pâté. And then I'm going to also put about half a cup of cilantro. Now, as you see, I like putting the stems in. When I'm doing soups, sauces, when I'm doing pâtés, I like to use the stems of the herbs, because once again, it's something that's basically you're wasting that has flavor, and it's good for you. And I don't like wasting things, so I'm gonna put a little garlic pepper. Little garlic, crushed garlic. That was probably about a quarter of a teaspoon. I'm going to use a little cumin, about the same amount. I'm going to use a little paprika. I'm going to do a little less paprika, probably more like 1/8 of a teaspoon. And then I'm going to put some chipotle, just a little bit. I have 2 different types of spice. It's fun. So Now we will go ahead and we will add a little salt. I'm gonna put probably about a half a teaspoon. I'm gonna taste it as well afterward just to see what the flavor's like, because I might need a little bit more. We'll see. It's all based on taste as well. Do it to your desired flavor. Here's another trick a lot of people don't know. A lot of chefs don't know this. This is a really good way to blend it up while it's in the Cuisinart.
Trust me, bro. They all know that one.
Well, you know that one.
Shake the whole thing. The whole
But hey,
will shake.
I'm glad you've learned, because a lot of chefs won't even share that stuff. Whatever. That's why I like Dan the Man. So yeah, see, that's blended it quite well. Somehow God, divine, source, whatever you want to call it, your higher power, my higher power, has blessed me with this amazing palate. And also, somehow, like most of the time, I do something, and I'm like, oh my God, it's perfect, like the first time. I think Dan the Man's probably shared that with you as well.
I never screw up.
I'm right there with him. Never screw up. So, very simple at this point. You're gonna take a nori. You're gonna put it into. You're gonna actually put it in the side where the glossy part's on the outside. So when you roll it up and put a little water on the top, it holds it together. So we're gonna take. If you're making food for someone someone other than your family, and this is a good way to, like I showed you just a second ago, taste it. So you don't, use your hands. So I'm gonna take about an inch worth across the nori, like that, and then I'm gonna use some of the strawberries. This kind of gives it an exotic twist. I'm gonna put some sunflower sprouts. I love sunflower sprouts. Sprouts in general, but sunflower sprouts are so high in protein, just so good for you. So amazing as far as everything, taste, flavor, all that. Yeah, thank you, Dan.
See what's up.
So now I'm gonna
I can't
sprinkle.
stay out of the limelight, can I?
Yeah, what are you doing, man? He's like so narcissistic. What the? I kind of am a little myself. So I'm gonna take a tiny bit of salt just to kind of accentuate the flavors. And this is a choice you can decide or not. I'm gonna, just to give it a little bit more of an exotic twist, I'm gonna take some of this Essential Living Foods agave, take a tiny bit, very little, to really give it this exotic twist. And then I'm just gonna very simply put the water on the edge of it right here. And then, back in the day, I kind of did a lot of different types of rolling. I don't know if you know what I mean, but I know my fans out there pretty much know what I mean. And can you dig it? But hey, voila.
What does that taste like, baby? Because
Well,
they
you
always
know
want
what?
to cut me up a piece, and I'll tell them.
Yeah, let's have Dan try this.
Because they know I ain't gonna lie to them.
Please don't lie, Dan. I mean, seriously. He's tried my food. He's tried some pizza.
I want to bite.
Bring
it on.
Oh yeah, bite.
Bite.
Yeah.
I want to bite, Dan.
We have an audience here. I don't know. I don't know if you met this audience yet, but I know I've heard about them in the background.
It looks pretty.
So, there's a piece for me.
Alright, here we go.
I like it a lot, dude. It is very exotic.
He said that with like sincerity too.
It's got a real round, delicate,
This is good.
nourishing flavor.
Yeah.
Ow, baby!
Good
I
job.
love you. This is really
I love
good.
you.
Wow, I'm impressed.
Thanks, BeLive.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Our 10 minutes is up.
We love you! Woo!
Hope you guys got something like that.
Fiesta.
Just as bad as we are.
She's a straight star.
Love you.
Bunch of narcissists. That was cool, BeLive. Thanks, man.
It was really good.
Peace, guys.
I got